Hey, third grade. Today is Wednesday, and we are just going to be picking up from where we left off yesterday. So on Tuesday, you guys did the first two steps of your UPS check, and you identified the hidden question, okay? So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to walk through the last two steps of the UPS check. So it's going to be the solve and check, and then you guys are going to be solving and checking your finishing the last two steps of solve and check on your UPS check for the two questions that you did yesterday where you found the hidden question, okay? So I encourage you to do both of the questions, okay? I wanted you to identify both hidden questions, and you only have to solve one, but I encourage you to just practice solving both of them, because next week we're going to be taking our unit assessment, and a big chunk of it is over word problems. So just identifying and solving these word problems is really going to be beneficial for you when it's your time to take your assessment next week, okay? So let me go over to my screen so you guys can still see me, but also see the word problem, okay? So yesterday our word problem said, Cody has 2 full boxes of 16 crayons. How many crayons does she have? Okay, and then Cody's mom gave her more crayons. This doubled the amount of crayons she still had, or she had at the beginning. How many crayons does she have in all? Okay, then we identified the secret question of how many crayons does she have? This was the first secret question that we had to identify. All right, there's only going to be one secret question. There's not going to be multiples. So this was the question that we had to identify. This is what we had to figure out first before we could go on and solve the rest of our problem. Now you notice that it's stated here, but it is not stated in this word problem. So this is a majority of how you're going to, this is how you're going to see your word problems being given to you, okay? Cody has 2 full boxes of 16 crayons, and then it just skips right over. It doesn't ask you how many crayons she has. We have to know to find that part of the problem. Cody's mom gave her more crayons. I know that she's getting more, so she's going to be adding. To what she already had. This doubled. I know that doubled means times 2. The amount of crayons she had at the beginning. How many crayons does she have in all? So if it doubled the amount of crayons that she had at the beginning, I have to find out the number of crayons she has first. If I want to double the amount of crayons she had at the beginning, I have to know how many crayons she had at the beginning in the first place. Okay, so that is the first step of this problem, all right? So the hidden question is, how many crayons did she have? All right, so let's move on to solving this problem, okay? And I think you can still see it, okay? So let's solve. I know that my first step is solving 2 boxes times 16 crayons, okay? And I'm going to just go over multiplying by your place value, okay? So doing partial products is what we call this. So I'm going to do 2 times 16 equals a blank number of crayons, okay? And I'm going to multiply. So if I want to break up 2 times 16, I'm going to break up my 2-digit number. Okay, so I want to break up 16. Just like we do when we add, we're going to break it up into our place values. So I have a 10, I have 1 10 plus a 6. Okay, so I am going to multiply 2 times 10, all right, 2 times 10 plus 2 times 6. All right, I'm going to multiply 2 times my 10's place and 2 times my 1's place, okay? Well, I know that 2 times 10 is 20 plus, and I know that 2 times 6 is 12, which equals, okay, 20, and if I want to break this up, if I wanted to break this up, I could do 20 plus 10 and then plus 2, which equals 32. Okay, so this is the number of crayons that Cody had at the very beginning. This is the 2 boxes of crayons, all right? The 16 count of crayons and the 16 count of crayons, those are the number of crayons she had in her 2 boxes. This is my secret question, okay? because I know this part, because I know she had 32 crayons in her boxes, in her 2 boxes, I can now double that. Okay, I can multiply that by 2. So let me get a second piece of paper because I might run out of room. Okay, I can multiply that. She's doubling the amount of crayons she has. So I'm going to take the number that I would have put in the box, which is 32, and I'm going to do 32 times 2, okay? I'm going to do it the exact same way that I just did. 32 times 2 equals a number of crayons. 32 crayons times 2, because I'm doubling it, equals a specific number of crayons. Okay, oops, sorry. So I'm going to break up, I'm going to do partial products. I'm going to break up my 32 into my different place values, into my 10s and my 1s. Well, I have 3 10s, and I know that 3 10s is 30 times 2. And remember, it doesn't matter if which way you write them. If you write 2 times, in this case I did 2 times my 10s place, which is 10. This one I just did 30 times 2. It's the same thing, okay? You can switch, you can rotate or flip, you can flip your multiplication sentence and you're still going to get the same answer. Plus 2 times 2, because I have 2 1s and I have 3 10s, all right? So 30 times 2, well, I know 30 times 2 is the same as 30 plus 30. 30 plus 30 is 60, plus, and 2 times 2 is 4, which equals 64. So, how many crayons did Cody have? Cody had 64 crayons after her mom gave her some, okay? But I need to check my problem. Okay? So here we go. I'm going to check my problem. And the way that I'm going to do it is, I'm going to do repeated addition for my check, okay? So I'm going to use repeated addition to solve for my check, okay? So 2 times 16 equals, that'd be 16 plus 16, because I'm going to add 16 2 times, or if you wanted to, you could add 2 16 times. I think it's a lot easier to do 16 2 times. 10 plus 6, 10 plus 6. 6 plus 6 is 12, okay? I'm going to regroup the 10, I'm going to move it to the tens place. 10, 20, 30. Which equals 30 plus 2 equals 32. That's what I got. Okay? Now I did 32 times 2, which equals 32 plus 32. Because 32 times 2 is the same thing as adding 32 2 times. All right? 30 plus 2, 30 plus 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 30 plus 30 is 60, which equals 64. And that is what we got when we multiplied, all right? So she has 64 crayons, okay? So now this is solved. We have finished solving this problem. We did our understand, and in our understand, we found the missing problem. We planned, we wrote out our multiplication sentences, or it could have been division sentences. In this case, it was 2 multiplication sentences with labels. It's really, really important, okay? And then we solved our problem using partial products, and then we checked our problem using repeated addition. And Miss Garza made a mistake, and the one thing that she should have done is she should have estimated, and I forgot to do that, okay? So one thing I want to talk about estimation. When you estimate your problem, okay, I should have done that before I solved it, and I just got ahead of myself, and I forgot, okay? If you estimate down, so for example, on this one, if I estimate 2, I'm going to leave that the same, times 15. I went down on this number because in my head, I know that 15 plus 15 is 30. So 2 times 15 is going to be 30. And the way that I think about that is on a clock, okay? If you break your clock up and you go 2 increments of 15 minutes, you're going to get 30 minutes. So I know that 15 plus 15 is 30, okay? So I rounded down in this problem, which means that would be 30. So my estimation is going to be lower than my actual answer. Okay, same thing here. I'm going to estimate 32. I'm going to do 30 times 2 because those are easy numbers for me to do in my head. Those are easy numbers for me to estimate. So I did 30 times 2, which I know is 30 plus 30, and that equals 60. Well, my real answer, my actual answer was 64. So because I rounded down, I estimated down, then my answer of my estimate is going to be less than my answer of what I actually get, okay? That's just something really important to remember. If I had rounded 16 to 20, because it's close to 20, I would have gotten 40. Well, 40, because I rounded up, 40 is going to be more than my actual answer, okay? And if I had rounded, I wouldn't have rounded this to 40, but you could have rounded this to 35 and just done 2 and 32 times 35 or 35 times 2. Because you rounded up, your answer, your estimate would have been, it would have been 70. And because I rounded up, my estimate is going to be greater than what I actually got, okay? So if you estimate down, if you round down when you're estimating, your answer is going to be smaller than what your actual answer is. And if you round up when you're estimating, your estimate is going to be larger than what your actual answer is, okay? So today you're going to be doing your solving and your check for the 2 problems. I really encourage you to do 2. If you don't get to 2 of them, that's okay. I want to see 1 of them done. And remember, I want to see your estimation. I want to see your doing your work, okay? And then I really want to see your check. So when you turn this problem in, you're going to upload a picture of this, and it's going to be the completed UPS check. So yesterday you submitted just your understanding your plan. Today you're going to be submitting the whole thing, okay? If you guys need help, you need to remember to contact your teacher. And if you need to hop on to office hours, please do that. Our office hours are from 2:40 to 3:30, and I'd be happy to help you then, all right? We'll see you guys later. Have a great Wednesday.